So this has been one of the most requested videos for me to make by my followers, and I think it's a very important topic. So in this video, I'm going to pretty much crack the code for you to the skinny fat physique. So when you're skinny fat, it's probably the worst fucking place to be in all of the different types of physiques, to be honest with you, because what skinny fat basically means is that you're at a healthy body weight technically, but you have absolutely no muscle mass, and when you take your shirt off, you look kind of chubby. So it's it's pretty awful. It's a pretty awful place to be. And so I'm gonna give you guys the solution to this, and this is gonna be very helpful for those of you who are skinny fat. So basically, this is what I did when I was skinny fat, back when I was 13, 14, even 12. What I did was I listened to what a lot of people have pushed when it comes to the skinny fat person, which is what they say is that you want to cut first. You want to get rid of the body fat and then build muscle. But here's the problem with that. That's what I did, and I felt you'll probably fall into this trap. At least I did. I fell into the trap where I was like, okay, I'll lose 5 pounds and then I'll have a nice physique. I'll be where I want to be, more or less. What happens is that you lose the weight. So I would lose 5 pounds and then I would be like, oh my god, I don't look any fucking better. So then I'd be like, okay, 5 more pounds. Then I'll have the physique I want. And all throughout this time period when you're doing that, you're not gaining fuck all muscle mass, just to add on to that. And you're just gonna end up. What happened to me is that before you know it, you're at a very unhealthily low body weight. So I would cut 5 pounds, cut another 5 pounds, and then I would just never get to the level of physique development that I wanted. And so if I were to go back in time, what I would have done instead was that I would have just slowly bulked. So instead of trying to cut first, trying to get rid of all the body fat, I would slowly bulk. The priority for you is to gain muscle mass, because that's why you're skinny fat. It's not because you're fat. It's because you don't have any fucking muscle underneath it. When you're skinny fat, you actually don't typically have too much body fat on you, but it's just more of a lack of muscle mass. So what you need to do is you need to slowly bulk. You need to be gaining about anywhere from 1 to 3, even 3 pounds of weight each month. More so, you're probably going to be around 2 pounds a month for the most part. But the cool thing about being a skinny fat person is that you 99% of the time, unless you don't know what the fuck you're doing in the gym, you're going to be a novice lifter. Which means, and when you're a novice, you can actually make lean gains, which means that you can gain muscle mass without the body fat to go along with it, because you're a newbie. I don't typically believe that that's the case for anyone who's not a noob. You're gonna have to gain a little bit of body fat with the muscle when you're not a noob lifter. But when you're new to lifting, you can actually gain muscle mass without gaining the body fat. That's why it really just doesn't make sense to cut if you're skinny fat. You really want to prioritize your muscle gain. And what this really comes down to is you need to get fucking strong. You need to get your strength up on the big lifts. So you need to be training the big compound movements, the movements that are going to give you the biggest bang for your buck. So you need to be training hard on the deadlift, the squat, the bench press, the overhead press, the weighted chin up, and your rows. You want to be getting strong as fuck on those in the 5 to 8 rep range, and do that while slowly gaining weight each month. You're going to want to eat in a 200 to 300 caloric surplus every day, get enough protein, and get really strong on those lifts in the 5 to 8 rep range. That is what's going to solve the skinny fat problem for you. So really, do not cut. Unless you're at the upper echelon of being skinny fat and you do have quite a bit of body fat, but you're still in that sort of healthy range, you could cut maybe a few pounds, but then really the priority needs to be on the muscle gain. So for 98% of people, you're going to want to just start to bulk first. A small caloric surplus, gaining 1 to 2, maybe even 3 pounds per month. And that's what's really going to solve it for you, because when you cut when you're skinny fat, all you're really doing is just revealing more and more of the little to no muscle mass that you have on your frame, which is very counterproductive. I remember I was skinny fat, and before you knew it, I was losing weight, and I was like, I don't look any better. I was super thin. I had no muscle on my frame. I was down to 115 fucking pounds, and it's just it's this vicious trap that you find yourself in when you take that route. So that's really what you got to do. So slowly bulk 1 to 2 pounds a month, small caloric surplus each day, 200 to 300. And that's what's really going to solve this problem for you. So get strong, build the muscle. And even if you gain a little bit of fat with each month, just a little bit of fat with the muscle, you can always cut that down later on. You can cut that off later on. So that's really not something you want to worry about. So cutting body fat is much easier than or it takes a lot less time than gaining muscle. So your priority needs to be on the muscle gain. So if you guys have any questions, drop it in the comments. I'd be glad to help you out. If you guys like this content, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Check me out on my Instagram. I'll leave a link in the description. Check out my blog, subscribe to my newsletters to hear about new brand updates, new blogs, exclusive workout tips, exclusive nutrition tips, some lifestyle tips, all the good stuff. So, talk to you guys soon.